Do you feel like you are trapped in the same old life you have always been living up till now? Today, I'm going to give you 3 easy keys that's going to form for you an escape plan to get out of that loop that you're stuck in. Whether you're stuck in the same old thoughts you've always thought and you want to create a new way of thinking, or maybe it's addictions you're struggling with. You've had these addictions or an addiction in your life that's repeated itself over and over on loop and you're ready to escape, or it's the same old job, it's just the same old you and you are ready to break free. I want you to know today you absolutely can break free and you can create a whole new you. The you that is the you you're intended to be. The you that's the you of your dreams. You can create it. You can make it happen. And I'm going to help you do it right now. There are 3 simple keys that will unlock the life of your dreams, that will get you out of that rut, that loop that you are stuck in your life right now. And I want to share them with you. The first is very simple. It is all about this word right here. Attention. Joe Dispenza says, where attention goes, energy flows. Now, what does that mean? Whatever you are paying attention to in your life right now, that's where you're spending your energy. The reason you feel stuck, the reason you're in a loop of thinking the same old thoughts, living in the same addictions, living the same life, going to the same job, unable to escape the pattern you built in your life, is because you are paying attention to the same things. I've said it so many times on here before, but you have about 60 to 70 thoughts per day. For most people, the average person, 90% of the thoughts you are thinking today, you could overlay on yesterday and you could pull out and overlay on tomorrow because they're the same thoughts every single day. And as long as we think the same thoughts, we're going to live in the same pattern and we're going to stay stuck in being the same old us. Your life right now is like a song that someone has pushed the repeat button on the CD player if you're old school, or on the record player. It's stuck going back to that same old record. At the end, it backs up, drops in, and it plays it all over again if you're really old school. Or if you're listening on your phone, you've got a song stuck on repeat and it's just playing over and over. And maybe it started out a great song. Maybe you loved your life. Maybe you love the thing that you're addicted to right now, whatever it is in your life. Maybe you love the way you thought once, but now it's become this pattern you can't break out of. You can't escape. Maybe there was a time you loved your job and now you hate your job, or at least you wish you had another job or another reality or another way of living your life. Whatever it is for you, a good song becomes a bad song when it's stuck on repeat, right? When you've played it enough times and it's gotten old and we're burnt out. For most people, that happens around the age of 30. Sometimes it takes later. It took me a little later in life to get to that place where I was burned out. But for the average person, somewhere between 30 and 50, we go through what a lot of people call a midlife crisis. And it just simply means we get burnt out on life. We're tired of the life on repeat. We want a new life. We want to invent a new us. And a lot of times we fill our life with all kinds of things that become addictions, that become problems for us because we're trying to escape because we don't know how to turn this repeat button off. Wherever you are paying attention in your life, that is where your energy's going. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. You're expending all kinds of energy on things in your life that are keeping you stuck in that same loop because you're thinking those same 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day. You're looking at life in the same way. You're experiencing life in the same way every day. You're feeling life in the same way every day, and it's keeping you stuck there. So the first key is to pay attention to where your attention is at. And if you want a new life, you're going to have to pay attention to some new things, some new ways of thinking. And we're going to show you here in just a few minutes a strong pyramid of thought and reality that you can rebuild in your own life. You've built a strong, stable structure based on how you think and how you feel and the way you look at life right now. But you can take that pyramid apart block by block and you can rebuild it block by block. and you can create a whole new you. And it all starts with what are you paying attention to in your life? Take a minute right now to think about that. What are you paying attention to in your life right now? Hey guys, if you've not subscribed already, now's a great time to subscribe below. I share this kind of content all the time, and I really do want to help you invent a brand new you. You can do it. I've done it. It works. Believe me and follow along if I can help you do it in your own life today. If you're paying attention to how bad you hate your job, if you're paying attention to how addicted you are to whatever it is you're addicted to, if you're paying attention to the thoughts you've always thought that you no longer want to think, guess what's going to happen? You're going to keep thinking about those things. You're going to keep paying attention to that thing that you focus on the most, and your energy's all going to go to that. Here's a quick little exercise for you. For the next 30 seconds, do not think about pizza. Don't think about pizza. What are you thinking about? You're thinking about pizza. Why? Because where we put our attention, even when it's just a thought suggested to us, that's where our energy goes. Where attention goes, energy flows. We got to change. We have to change what we pay attention to if we want to escape the pattern of being ourselves, of the persons and the people that we have become. That is the first key. Change or shift what you're paying attention to in your life. Shift it to a new way of thinking, a new way of living, a new way of envisioning. How do you do that? Well, that's the second key, and it is this word, intention. If you want to shift your attention, you have to shift your intention. To begin to move energy from one place to another place in our life, we have to move our attention from what we're focusing on every day, those 60 to 70,000 same thoughts, to a new way of thinking, to new thoughts, to new ways of looking at things. And the only way to do that is to change our intention, to change what we intend our lives to be. I help you in some other videos if you want to kind of scroll through some here. We're going to do one more specific here in an upcoming video, but all about how to create an intention statement for your life. And an intention statement is a simple thing. It is just a powerful present tense statement about the reality you want to create in life. And what I mean by that is it needs to be in the present tense. In other words, something that exists already. It's a statement that you say over and over as if it's already happened. I've told you many times on here before, my intention statement is everywhere. It's on the background of my phone. I've got it on laminated pieces of paper everywhere where I can see it. And it's present tense as if all of it has already occurred. And by the way, it's rewired my brain. It's changed what we're going to talk about today, this pyramid of thinking in my life, and it's created a whole new me over the last year, and a big part of that's been my intention statement. So it's powerful and it's present tense. Now, powerful means that it evokes a powerful emotion with you. You say it as if it is in the present tense, but you say it powerfully with strong positive emotions. See, a lot of us are stuck in negative emotion in our life. We're stuck in things like anger, or maybe greed, or maybe resentment, or maybe lust, or whatever it is, these lower vibrational emotions. And if you want to get out of that, you've got to upcycle your emotions to those high emotions. And vibrationally, I don't know if you know this, but when you have an emotion, you put out literally an electrical signal, a vibration. And the higher those wavelengths, the more you're attracting the things you want into your life, the more you're freeing your brain up to become creative rather than stuck on this repay loop in your life. We do that with our powerful present tense intention statement that says, this is what I am. Here's how I do mine. Now, just to kind of give you an example, my intention statement is simply this: I am so happy and grateful now. Did you hear that? Powerful emotions. I'm happy and I'm grateful now. It's present tense. I'm so happy and grateful now. I have an abundance of time, of money to spend with the people I love on the things that we love, and we share this abundance with others. It's love and outward focused. It's with my family. My intention statement's all about having an abundance and overflow of time and money to spend with the people I love on the things that we all love, and that we share this abundance. We want to share our time. We want to share our resources with others. We want to impact others' lives. Those are all positive, higher vibrational emotions of gratitude, of love, of giving, of sharing. All of those things have created a new way of thinking, a higher vibrational way of my life. And boy, it's taken me away from bottled up anger and resentment and fatalism and so much that was driving my life before, and it can change yours too. Get you an intention statement that says what you want to happen in your life as if it's already happened. I am so happy and grateful now. This has happened for me. And I started saying the statement before a lot of these things had happened for me. You have to trick your subconscious into believing this is your reality, because your subconscious doesn't believe what you see. It believes what you tell it. It believes what you program it. It's not what's coming in visually that goes into our subconscious. That's a little part of it, but it's mostly our thoughts and our emotions attached to those thoughts. Set your intention. Here's kind of why intention statements work. First of all, they start with a thought. We decide we're going to adopt a new thought process in our life. So we start thinking these new thoughts. You start coming up with the way you want to live. You start thinking about what it would be like if you were to live this new life, to be this new you, to escape the addiction, to get out of the thought pattern, to get out of the old job and into a new job or a new way of living. You start thinking new thoughts, thoughts you've never thought before. And then what happens? You start thinking these thoughts and it moves you to feeling in a different way. All at once, you are feeling happy. And this is not just about happy, circumstantial happy. This is about creating your own happiness within. You think new thoughts, you start feeling new happy feelings, and guess what happens next? You start putting out new wavelengths in your life. You start putting out a new energy. Why? Because you've shifted your attention, and where attention goes, energy flows. You've shifted it from those old thoughts, those old ways of thinking. You've set a new intention in your life, and through new thoughts, new emotions, you're putting out new energy, and you're attracting new opportunities and new things and new people and new ways of living into your life. It's starting to work for you. And I promise you, this works if you work it. This will work if you try it. Key number one, attention. We have got to stop this repeat button in our life. We've got to press it again and turn it off. And it's all about paying attention to new things, new thoughts, new ways of living our life. Number two, setting your intention. What is it that you want to change in your life? How is it that you want to live? What is the dream you want to be? Set your intention on that. Make an intention statement about it. And when you do that, you're going to start to shift your thinking, your feelings, and you're going to shift your energy. And number three, the third key is where the rubber meets the road. This is where it all starts to happen. And it's this. Excuse my writing. It's invention. There's an invention of a whole new us when we shift our attention, what we focus on, when we shift our intention, what we want our life to become, what we want it to actually be for the rest of our lives. We invent, we create an invention of a whole new us, a whole new life. And this stuff works, and I want to show you how it works. And that brings us to the pyramid of power. The pyramid of power is simply this powerful building structure that you have built in your life. And this is the way all of life works. This is how you became you over time. Now, a lot of your programming in your early years, your formative years, came from your parents. It came from the people, the teachers in your life, the folks that were building that kind of first version of you. A lot of it came there, but you reinforced it as you thought those thoughts and believed those beliefs throughout time, and you built this strong foundation in the structure of who you are. If you want to build a new you, you do it in the same way. You change those things that came in that you don't want in there anymore, and you build with new blocks. Tear down the old structure and build a whole new one. And here's how it happens. Here is the invention of the new you. At the top of the pyramid is thoughts. You have to start thinking new thoughts if you want to become a new you. And that simply means some things as simple as doing positive affirmations. That's where I started in the mornings, telling yourself a new reality from what you've been telling yourself so far. You have to quit telling yourself the same old lies that you can't, that you would if you had the money, that you would change jobs if you could find another job, that you would quit the addiction if you had this reality in your life, that you would quit the thinking. You got to stop all of that stuff. Stop telling the lies, and you have to simply start thinking new thoughts. So what's going to happen when you stop thinking old thoughts and start thinking new thoughts? You're going to develop the second level of the pyramid, and that is emotions. New emotions, new feelings are going to start to come into your life. You're going to start feeling a new way. When you start thinking new thoughts, you can't help but start feeling new feelings, developing new emotions, and emotions are powerful. What happens with most people, why this does not work in their life, it's not enough to just think positive thoughts. A lot of people say, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to think positive. I'm going to quit thinking the way I used to think, and I'm going to think a new way. But there's no emotion attached to it. There's no feeling. When those new feelings start to come up, do you know what your brain does? Your brain likes to run on this repeat loop. That's where it's comfortable. Your brain is there to protect you and keep you safe. It does a good thing, but it likes the familiar. That's what the brain operates on. So when you start thinking new thoughts and you start feeling new ways, suddenly the brain steps in and says, hey, wait, that's not you, Jim. You don't believe that. You can't do this. You need to stay safe. You don't have enough money to do this. You don't have enough talent to do this. You're not pretty enough. You're not thin enough. Whatever it says to you, you can't, because it wants to go back on this repeat and it'll try to take you there. Don't go there. Stay in the higher emotions all day, every day. When you start to drift from them, say, I choose not to drift. I choose not to go back to the old way of feeling. Find something you can feel good about. If it's just a little thing, I like upcycling emotions throughout the day, starting with a small, tiny thing and moving it up to a bigger, better thing. And all day long, upcycling my emotions so I stay in these new thoughts and these new emotions. When you start thinking a new way, you start feeling new emotions, you're going to start having new ones of these. Your beliefs start to change. You begin to believe new possibilities and new things about yourself because you're reprogramming your subconscious and you're attaching strong emotion to it. So now what's happening? You're starting to believe not I can't, but I can. Not I'm too ugly. I am pretty enough. I'm too fat. No, I'm just right. I'm the way I'm supposed to be. You start believing all these new things about yourself because you're building a new pyramid. It's getting stronger and stronger. Now you're having new beliefs. And when you get to new beliefs, when you start believing things you've never believed before, you're going to change the game. I know for me, I grew up in the evangelical church world. And don't get me wrong, I still believe in God and source and all of that. But I escaped my cycle of being brought up about all these do's and don'ts and this kind of weird look at religion and God and spirituality that was very narrow focused. The biggest thing I ever did was to escape that, and it was not easy to do. But when I changed that thinking, I escaped to a whole new way of opening my mind up to new possibilities and new ways of thinking. I changed my beliefs, and it really put the change in my life into warp drive. We kicked it in like the Enterprise in Star Trek into warp drive when my beliefs started to change. So change your thoughts. It changes your emotions. It starts to change your beliefs. And then it starts to change your state. State what? Your state of being. Your state of being starts to change. See, the longer you believe something, the longer you're truly convinced of something, and you let yourself believe that, the more your state of being, who you are at your core, starts to change. Now, maybe you've convinced yourself you can't change who you are at your core. If you believe that, guess what? You're going to always be on this repeat button. You're going to always believe that. But if you want to stop the repeat button and start thinking a whole new way and being a whole new you, you've got to believe that your state of being can change. You can change who you are at your core. When your thoughts change your emotions and they change your beliefs and they begin to change your state of being, guess what happens next? Your behaviors start to change. You start to change the way you act what you do, where you go, who you connect with, who you shut out of your life before, suddenly you open your life up to, who you were fearful of, suddenly you're not. In my life, for me, one of the groups of people that always caused me pause were people who were in higher positions than me. And I don't mean one level up. I'm talking about kind of CEO, corporate level people. They always intimidated me. And don't get me wrong, I still feel some of the same old thoughts and emotions when those folks come around. But now I'm beginning to make friends with these people in the company I'm working in now. And when they come through, I make it a point to talk to them and hang out with them. And I finally told my brain to quit telling me the lie that these people were different. These are just guys and ladies that put their pants on or their dress on or whatever they wear, one leg or one skirt at a time, just like I do. We are all the same, guys. We are no different. Nobody's any different. We're all human and we're part of the human race and we're all the same. And I had to learn that and change that belief. And when I did, it changed my state of being. And then it started changing my behaviors, how I act around these people. Your behaviors start to change and you are then changing your life because thoughts lead to emotions. They lead to beliefs. They lead to your state of being. They lead to your behaviors. And when your behaviors change, guess what you change at the bottom of the pyramid? That is an R if you can't read it. And that changes the most important thing about you. It changes your reality. When you change this cycle of thoughts, this cycle of emotions, this cycle of beliefs, this cycle of your state of being, this cycle of behaviors, you ultimately change your reality. And when you change your reality, guess what? You're acting in new ways, you're doing new things, you're going new places, you're seizing new opportunities, and it circles back around. And it's got you thinking all different kinds of thoughts because now you believe a new reality is possible. And it's got you feeling all kinds of new emotions, believing all kinds of new things. And it just keeps cycling around and around. Why? Because you have invented a brand new you. There's a new invention in town and it's the new you. That's the way this stuff works. Are you ready to get out of the loop? Are you ready to escape the reality you've been living in? Tell me in the comments, who is it that you want to become? In maybe one word or one sentence, just tell me, this is who I really want to be. Or maybe you want to tell me in the comments, Jim, this is the reality that's holding me up right now. This is the thing that's keeping me in this prison. I'm locked inside the same loop. This is what I want to escape. Tell me in the comments. I want to encourage you with more videos, more content on exactly how to do that. Very soon, we're going to do a video on an intention statement, exactly how to build it. I've got some tools available for you to help you there. I've got a website up and coming very soon over at jimparkercoaching.com. As soon as that's available, a lot of these materials are free and they're going to be there for you. And I can't wait to share them with you. For right now, I want to challenge you today. Change where you focus your energy, change your attention, change your intention, and you will see a whole new invention of a whole new you.